I'm Phyllis from the Doll Corner and welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about making a body for a cloth doll. There's so many patterns out there and all of them have good points and bad points. And I'd like to make one that has mostly all good points. But you have to make them to... But I'll tell you what I like about this one. But before I get into it, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Touch the bell to be notified. Check out my Etsy shop for my basic doll patterns. It's patterns from 6-inch dolls to 23, 24-inch dolls. And for baby dolls to fashion dolls and everything in between, girl dolls. So just check it out. Now we'll get back to this doll. What I like about this one, I like its head. I like the shape of it. And it has little darts. It's a circle with little darts. It's got depth to it and it's got shape. Where this one is kind of, it's flat and you puff it out with the stuffing, where this one is got some shape to it. So I like that. I like when you can move the arms, some movement, so they're not sticking straight out like this one. You can try and move this one in, but all of us, they just go back out. This body is a girl-shaped body. There's a little bit of curve at her waist. Not a lot, but some, and so it makes the clothes fit better. I like this foot. It's a nice shaped foot. And it will sit sometimes, but it needs a little more padding back on the behind here yet. So there's a few things, and the hands on this doll is too long. And it's hard to tell until you got them stuffed to really what they're going to look like. So how I start with is I take my fabric, which is muslin. I put right sides together and then trace the pattern. And so that I use very little extra fabric, no, very little waste to the fabric. I put it on in such a way. And then I have my arms, however they fit on, and the body and the head, all those things. So with that said, how I do my head is I have a 5.5-inch circle here. And I divided it in 8 equal parts just by folding it in half like this. And then the top half of it, on the crease, I put a dot in at an inch point. And then measure out 1/4 of an inch from each crease. So I've got 1/2 inch on for a dart. So I'm taking 1/2 inch in all the way around. Now I need a neck. These are where my darts will go, and this is my neck. I need to make a neck. So I take my body piece and I put it at the bottom here. And I come down and just sort of curve this around. And I come down 1.5 inches or so. I don't need this much, but I want to use that much, have that much. So and then when I sew, I mark where the face is to go lightly, but I don't embroider it or I don't paint it until after I have it stuffed. I know some people like to do it before, but I just prefer to try and do it afterwards. Then I match up my little darts, one going one way and one going the other. And I sew around 1/4 inch all the way around the head and turn it right side out. And I stuff it. And these little creases will come out once it's all stuffed full. But I've just partially stuffed it because I don't want it all stuffed at this point. But it's just easier to stuff some of it before I sew it on. Then I take my body, I sew the back seam up, and I put the little darts for its bum in here. I put this on top like this, match them up, and I sew down and around to the point where my arms are going to attach. So I have sewn a little short seam in here, and I leave this all open. And then when this is sewn like this, you can tell how it's sewn. Then I take my head, making sure that the front of the face is facing the front of the body. My light went out. So then I bring my neck up through and pull it up. Smooth it out. And I hand sew it along here. I curve it down just a little bit. And the same at the back. I make sure that's pulled down far enough. And I sew it a couple of times because kids usually quite often carry the doll by the head. So you don't want the head falling off. So if you do it a couple of times. And then when I have that sewn, I'll cut this extra off. This is just extra so that I have something to hang on to it while I'm sewing, and it seems to work pretty well. And now, if I want to do my arms, I'll just take that off. So it's only going to fall off. I take my arms, and if I am going to put a joint on, those little doll joints, I will put it on now because I can get in here and I put the one side in here and the other inside the arm and attach it that way. But if I'm going to do it like I did this one with the button on the arm, I'll leave it until it's all stuffed. And then to attach my legs, I take, this is the inside of the back. I want to make sure my foot is facing the front. So I turn it like this. Oh, this side, one side I sew up. And I bring this right to the side seam. So this will be sewn. And I sew this across here. And I add the other one over here like this. And I sew it straight across. And I usually sew it a couple of times, because if they're trailing them around by their leg, then you don't want the leg to fall off. And then when this is on, it's folded up sort of like that. Oh, I have stuffed my leg and I've sewn it across here. Then I bring this down, fold this up, and just top stitch it. The two legs, just top stitch across there, like this. And you don't want the legs filled right to the top, because then your doll won't have room. She'll want to be stiff in this area. You want her flexible. And sometimes she sits. Anyway, this one I need to make her a bum a little fuller. So I'll correct that on this doll. And then I will sew on, if I haven't got my arms on already, I will get my buttons, a long needle, and I like to use fishing line, or I have used dental floss. And so push the needle right through and back through from one button to the other, and that holds them on. And then I'll make her a wig and things like that. So they're kind of fun to make. But as I say, you put one together and you find, oh yeah, their hands are a wee bit long, or their feet aren't just quite right, and things like that. I think I forgot to show you this one with the toes. This pattern I like. So I just go around. And I round this corner, or I should round this corner. This one I rounded, and I lowered to the little toe side. This one I just sewed up and down. Well, I got these little dog ears. So you should round here instead. Just a few things. Okay. Be sure and subscribe. Touch the bell to be notified. Check out my Etsy shop. And if you would like this pattern book sent to you like this, the Etsy shop just sells an ebook. But if you would like this one made up, just email me. And you'll find the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye now.